TF2 is a very interesting thing compared to other games like it. You see, unlike almost every other hero shooter where the developers maintain the figurative status quo with regular updates and content drops, TF2 has largely been neglected by Valve ever since the last major update, Jungle Inferno, released in 2017. For over 7 years now, it's been only minor bug fixes and small seasonal community content additions. It would be a massive understatement to say that the lack of updates has shaped the community into what it is today. In fact, it practically is what shaped the community into what it is today. With all that being said, I want to give my thoughts on one of the biggest and most recent events in the game and the community's history. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm talking about the Fix TF2 movement. So to provide some context for anyone outside of the TF2 community, around late 2019 and early 2020, the game experienced an increasing number of bots in casual servers. These bots were running a hacked client that upon joining a game would select the sniper and run around the map insta-headshotting everyone on the opposite team. It wasn't until around May 2022 that a community-led push for Valve to do something called #SaveTF2 began to spread online. People all throughout the TF2 community made dozens of social media posts to get Valve to fix the game. It did manage to grab their attention, which resulted in them adding some patches that temporarily nullified the bot issue over that summer. However, around that year's Scream Fortress event, the bots returned and it continued to worsen over the rest of 2022 and 2023. Now, the Fix TF2 movement built off of the earlier Save TF2 movement and saw a much greater success in solving the bot crisis. This time, people were a lot more vocal about the game's problems in the lead up to a set day of protest, which was on June 3rd of this year. On top of the outcry on social media, there was also a petition for change that got over 340,000 signatures, which was delivered in a physical book to Valve headquarters on September 13th. Unlike earlier attempts to solve the bot crisis, the Fix TF2 movement largely accomplished what it set out to do. After the June 3rd protest, Valve took serious action against the bots, banning all of the hacked clients and even game banning the people who were hosting them. The game has been relatively trouble-free for the past several months now, but people understandably have skepticism about if this is really going to be a long-term thing. The earlier Save TF2 movement did remedy the situation, but only for a short time. So this time, people have continued to monitor things and make sure everything's working, reporting any discrepancies to Valve. So the title of this video is Gamer Stereotypes and Fix TF2, and you might be wondering how exactly these two things are related. Traditionally, when someone imagines a gamer or a gaming community, they often see a bunch of physically inactive, introverted man-children who go into a frenzied rage whenever something annoys them just a bit too much. Now, these stereotypes do exist for a reason. The mountains of gamer rage compilations on YouTube alone are enough to convince people that gamers are overly toxic people. However, the best way to challenge a stereotype is with better representation. And I believe that the Fix TF2 movement is a prime example of just that. The movement showed what gamers can do for the better when they put their heads together to fight a common enemy. TF2 players made their voices and concerns heard, finding a common ground, and were able to make a great change as a result. And if they can make a change happen, then so can any other community in or outside gaming, regardless of stereotypes looming over them. I think at least that the core principles of the Fix TF2 movement should be a model to help other communities move past any stereotypes wearing them down. With enough noise regarding any topic, we can all make a change for the better.